Candace Owens. Candace Owens, I was listening to her debate Chris Cuomo the other day. We were talking about media manipulation.
310.
310? Yeah. And how they manipulate the money. She ripped Chris Cuomo. She ripped it. And you know who Chris Cuomo's brother is, so you already know what type of person he is. You know, brother's a dirtbag.
No living being should ever eat.
But long story short, sometimes, man, as black folks, man, we gotta go ahead and listen objectively and not with emotions or what have you. Because a lot of us are programmed to believe what the media tells us about everything. Even with the whole Russia situation, I know I'm deviating again. You want to tell me that ISIS went into Moscow and went ahead and kill some Russians? Are you out your mother effing nigga? Yeah. Putin ain't going for none of that. He knew who did it. He got him. They have been prosecuted already. End the story. No trial. You see, they beat it out of him, but guess what? They got him. Sure. End the story.
One thing I appreciate.
Ukraine did it. That's all they need to know. You think ISIS is going in Russia? Who is ISIS?
I ain't messing with no.
Oh,
who is ISIS?
Listen, I since you brought up since you brought up ISIS real quick, think about this. Peep this. Today, there was a report that ISIS claimed credit for an attack in a Moscow concert hall.
Yeah.
That basically left 137 people dead.
They're claiming that?
Right. This is the same ISIS that's being allegedly reported that, everybody's good brother Obama created. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So let's call it like it is.
See where you going?
Because when you start talking about, listen,
it's a proxy war.
Right. We talked about this before. About the levels that certain executive officials have as a part of their legacy. Mm-hmm. Because it's clear, Obama tried to start depopulation on his own. Wow. He went after a lot of people that people don't understand. Yeah. And a lot of us brothers and sisters met our demise under Obama.
That's
For all that don't know, do the research. Check it out. Because you had and this is the thing too. When he came into office, he was instructed specifically not to try to push an agenda that solely benefited melanated brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. So he switched gears and went with the
status quo.
The status quo and started pushing the alternative lifestyle community. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is.
Regular Native Americans got benefits, which some of us are, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
Right, and we're not
getting the benefits from that like we should. We are the real Native American, but that's a whole different.
Right, and this is not, and I gotta say this is part of what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. This is not an attack on that community. No. It is just highlighting some of the things that were done for certain groups.
And nowadays, when you talk about minorities, they're not talking about us. They talk about that group. They talk about the Arab brothers. They talk about, Korean brothers. They talk about everybody else, but the quote unquote American black man and black woman. We're the last person that they talk about when it comes to minorities.
Exactly. So these are things that
they fit us into the minority group, which hold like Asians and the minorities. They never speak about us specifically tailored to us. You can say, "Oh, we're here fighting for the Asians or the Chinese or the Japanese. They're never going to say black people. They're going to always fit us into the minority group, which includes everybody else. Who was our representative?
No, we are our own people. We're indigenous to this planet.
That's a fact.
And that is what it is. So the bottom line is when you're talking about and part of the problem is when you start to speak of yourself, and I don't want to get too long with it. When you start to speak of yourself as a crayon, then you're gonna be treated like a crayon. They're gonna use you and abuse you until they've gotten all of what they can get out of you.
Went over your heads.
And then they're gonna excuse you.
I just went over your head.
So
that's another lesson.
That's a whole nother topic.
You know what I'm saying?
Alleged
I'm gonna just
black
leave
people.
it there.
Let me say that.
I'm gonna just leave it there. So let's,
Those that know the knowledge know. But we gonna get into Candace Owens. But those that know the knowledge know the knowledge. If you don't know the knowledge, do the knowledge.
Right. So here we go. Candace, you ready? Yeah. Okay. Good.
So again, you don't know what's real, you don't know what's not, until this recent lawsuit, and this one's different, guys. A man named Rodney Jones has come forward to sue Diddy, and this is not your average lawsuit. I will say right now, many lawsuits are in fact frivolous. I have fought and won frivolous lawsuits.
I tried to tell
This
ya.
person, however, his name is Rodney Jones. He lived, traveled, and he worked with Diddy as a producer, and he is alleging that he has hours upon hours of recorded footage and pictorial evidence, which has been included in this document, to support his claims. And I have to say, these claims seem very credible.
We got to press pause
to be
every
clear,
once in a while because we can't play somebody's stuff. But
He's saying he got proof of Diddy blowing his back out. That's what he basically saying.
now look how much evidence
Put
he
you in a
has.
chokehold.
But she ain't even done yet.
What do you mean?
This is the scholarship right here. She's not even
She
done
warming
yet.
up.
So
She out here warming up.
has
She
all the
like,
evidence.
listen.
That boy's suffering from diarrhea.
Okay.
Get this smoke.
All right. So every so often you got to pause it.
It's like Diddy gave him his smoke.
But and then we got to give our commentary on what she's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, he got he got proof of getting rammed. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Only Haas.
Rodney, also goes by Lil Rod, is suing Diddy and others, we're going to get to who those others are, for $30 million, claiming that he was subjected to sexual misconduct for the duration of the production process of an album. It is a 70-page lawsuit that has been filed in the Southern District of New York, and he is claiming that while working on the album and living with Combs in New York, California, Florida, other locations,
Took you all around the world,
that
didn't he,
Diddy
buddy?
repeatedly groped him, touching his, I'm sorry to say this, guys, his anus and his crotch without consent, and attempting to groom him into accepting a homosexual relationship by showing.
Okay.
30 million.
Listen.
30 million.
Yo, he pulled the Donald Trump on him.
What's her name? Cassie got.
He grabbed.
You see how much Cassie got, right? All right. He coming for him.
Boy got hit with the stink figure.
All right. And it just gets worse. Oh man, the evidence and proofs that he had allegedly.
Right. This is allegedly.
30 million. 30 million. Just listen.
Not a good look, bro. Hold on.
Allegedly, he got anus broke.
Shaka was looking at him. And remember his name. Remember his name because he got footage. Go ahead.
Him explicit videos of others in Hollywood. Yes, they have named other artists, claiming that homosexuality was a normal practice in the music industry. He's also claiming that Diddy would walk around the house naked and force him to watch him shower, and is alleging that he went forward and told Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Karam, about this. And Christina came back to him and said, well, Sean will just be Sean.
Press pause.
So we're going to go through some of these explosive
I just want y'all to
claims.
listen.
Again,
I just want y'all to listen in because apparently Diddy may have a handler. So now you're going to hear another young lady's name. He may have a handler himself. So just listen to this clearly. This is how far it goes down the rabbit hole.
Go ahead.
And right at the top, I'm going to make it clear so I don't get sued that these are all allegations. Everything that I'm going to say after this is an allegation that is being claimed by Rodney in this lawsuit document, which we will include as a link for you guys if you are watching this on YouTube. So let's go through the big claims. Ready? Number one, this is perhaps the biggest claim, is that Diddy and his son murdered someone in plain daylight and got away with it. There's apparently a man that they know, that everyone who works with Diddy knows, that they can call and they essentially will get everything cleaned up. And they're implicating the LAPD in this madness because they produced fake reports. And he's got some real good evidence to back up these claims. He says that one evening during a camp that they were running with several musicians, Mr. Combs and Jay Combs were in a heated conversation with somebody named G. And while this conversation was moved out of the studio and into a restroom that was adjacent to where Jones was sitting, he heard approximately 2 feet away from him again, Mr. Jones is the producer that's suing him, gunshots suddenly ringing out. He recalls hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately...
See,
and this is all alleged.
It's all alleged, but that's not the first time I heard that story.
His son is involved.
That's not the first time I heard that story.
Come on, man.
It's all alleged, but that's not the first time I heard that story.
But wait till you hear. Did you ever watch Raymond Reddington Blacklist?
Yeah, you know what?
They got cleaners, like pow, pow, pow. Make a phone call and clean up all the blood. And apparently the LAPD is the cleaners. Like, y'all listen to this. Like, you ever watch Blacklist or Raymond Reddington where he would do his shoot or whatever, do his killing.
He's a spy.
He has a special person that comes and clean it up like nothing happened. So like, let's say
the old lady,
the FBI, CIA come and they trying to do fingerprint and look at
can't do nothing.
They don't find nothing.
But that's what power. That's what power gives you. That's what power gives you.
I can't believe this. And his allegedly son, how you gonna put your baby boy into this, man?
We gonna play one more clip because we don't want to get sued.
Allegedly. Oh man.
He went into a state of shock and fear that he would be shot next. He genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was.
Take that.
After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and his son exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg and his hip area. Everyone stood around and looked up at him. Frustrated by the lack of aid that was being provided, Mr. Jones, the producer that's suing again, dropped everything, ran to the guy, and immediately began placing pressure. As he was applying pressure on his stomach, he realized that G was gushing blood from another area. He decided to lift G up and place him to sit on the toilet, and he asked the crowd to call the ambulance.